Hi, welcome back to Career TV. I'm your host, Emily Berry, and this week we are looking at a new profession for students and professionals seeking new career paths. Please welcome Jess Han and explore the speech pathology occupation.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's jump right in. Can you tell me what is involved in speech pathology? It would seem the majority of our audience here today aren't aware of how wide the scope really is.
Okay, so speech pathologists are here to assist anyone with a communication or swallowing inability or difficulty. This encompasses people of all ages with a variety of communication challenges, including speaking, listening, understanding language, and many more.
Wow, so a lot of areas really are covered under speech pathology.
Yes, we work with people born with difficulties like cerebral palsy or intellectual disabilities, as well as issues that develop over time, like dementia, as well as sudden loss of communication after a stroke or brain injury. Swallowing difficulties or throat and neck injuries are also part of our practice too.
Interesting. Last week we spoke to a teacher and they identified the Department of Education and Training as their governing body that ensures they are always doing things legally and ethically. Does speech pathology have a similar institution?
Yes, we have SPA, Speech Pathology Australia. They determine what we should be doing and according to current research, how we should be doing it, and whether we are completing our job in accordance to clinical and ethical standards.
You mentioned SPA and a code of ethics. Can you tell us what's in this code and how the general public can gain access to it?
That's a fantastic question. SPA determines our code of ethics. Everything is available on their website. Just Google Speech Pathology Australia Code of Ethics and you'll find it. As for using the Code of Ethics, speech pathology is mostly a self-directed profession. This documentation contains information for the individuals to ensure they are doing their utmost to operate in a manner that maintains a high level of standard and professionalism. They are making the best possible decisions for their clients and always being successful in achieving their obligations and responsibilities. They are keeping the public and client confidentiality and minimising harm in accordance to the law. They are supportive and respectful of all cultures, races, religions, and ethnicity. They are providing the best possible care for their clients by making professional and informed choices. We also have key values and principles that dictate how we behave as professionals. This document then explains how speech pathologists can professionally incorporate all of this into their profession through the standards of practice.
If a speech pathologist was to break one or multiple of these rules, how could a client, another professional, or the greater public report them?
If a speech pathologist has broken the Code of Ethics, they must be reported to SPA immediately. Then a Board of Ethics who will go through a legal procedure to determine the consequences and how they are to go about them.
Moving on now, every other professional we've spoken to has an occupational standard that determines what it is they actually do. Do speech pathologists have this, and what is it called?
Of course we do. We call it CBOS, although this is simply an acronym for Competency-Based Occupational Standards. At entry level, a graduate straight out of university, there is a 47-page document that dictates the way we should be completing our job based around our practice specification area.
So, assuming people don't know what you mean by practice specification, can you tell me what this means?
Of course! So it's basically the part of speech that you, as a professional, choose to specialise in, be it language, speech, swallowing, voice, fluency, or multimodal communication. The CBOS operates similar to a curriculum in that it tells us how to complete our job.
So, as a speechie, there is a lot of range in what you can do. When you're working with a client and they have something that they desperately want to do or communicate, where do you start?
This is where the World Health Organization comes into play. They have a database that allows us professionals to see exactly what the diagnosis of our client is, how it may progress, potential causes of the diagnosis, and ways to move forward. Once we've got to know our client and their needs, we use a tool called the ICF, which is the International Classification of Functioning, Disability and Health, to help us determine the steps we need to take to help our client to be successful.
So what if they are physically unable to be successful?
We rearrange the environment around them to allow them to be successful using the ICF. Our client is at the heart of everything we do.
So if I have a communication issue, I know who to call.
Of course.
Thank you, Jess, for coming in, and to the audience. I'll see you next week.